Here we are, back in Dubai, back in the whip. Didn't even vlog while I was in the UK because it's just depressing, isn't it? Nah, but I was just really busy seeing clients, did the Great North Run half marathon, all went really well. I got a PB, 4 minutes, which was the plan, just under an hour and a half, and all the clients that we prepped for the race PB too, so that's a massive win for everyone and a massive win for the brand. So we're going to keep pushing our performance-based clients over the next few months to enter more races and get more PBs there. My next race is at the end of October, half marathon. I wasn't going to push for a good time on that one, but I've kind of got the bug for racing again, so I'm going to get back to the track next week, keep working on my speed and try and run a good time on a much flatter course in Dubai, because the Great North Run was very hilly and I've really struggled on that. But yeah, got back yesterday and the plan now is literally for the rest of the year, head down, work, have a sick time with friends. A lot of people come back from September onwards and just get strong again, get really strong in the gym, get my metabolism up and keep working on my running, keep getting fitter. So off to the gym now to hit an upper body session. I'm going to film a few clips from that. I think I'm just going to vlog a few things this week with some training, nutrition. I'm back on a new meal plan, slightly higher calorie than before, so it should be good. So yeah, I'm going to cover probably a fair few things in this video, but for now, I'm going to go to Starbucks, get a nitro cold brew. If you know, you know. I'm going to go to the gym, finish off a little bit of work before I train, and then I need to take some videos for our new client portal hub that I've just built and I've just released. So I want to put some mobility specific content on there for clients that they can use to loosen up pre and post run, in between work blocks and things like that. So that is the plan. I'm buzzing to be back. Had a sick summer. Traveling is great, but it's just exhausting and it's hard to get in a good routine and be productive when you're moving around a lot. So I'm looking forward to progressing over the next few months. A large nitro cold brew, please.
Oh, tell me. What is your Instagram page? I'll go follow you.
YouTube, thank you.
Okay.
So an essential part of my daily routine to promote maximum productivity and optimal training performance is to get a nitro cold brew. Now, I don't think they have these in the UK. I've searched far and wide, but essentially it's just like a frothy cold brew. Shit, handbrake's not on. Frothy cold brew, 0 cal, nothing in it, just black coffee basically. Just, I don't know, consistency's a little bit nicer. But I thought I'd just touch on training and nutrition quickly. I'll probably just make this video like a fairly in-depth one on my training today. So training wise, running is going to remain the same until I've got my next race out the way at the end of October. So that'll be 2 speed sessions a week, an easy run and a long run. And then I think I'm going to throw in either another easy run or a bike session just to do something in the morning. I've been doing all my running in first thing in the morning and it's just quite a nice thing to do, so I thought I'd chuck another one in there. But if my sleep and recovery isn't good enough, I'm not going to throw one in for the sake of it. I'm only going to have it in there if I can handle it. But it'll almost just be like active recovery zone 1 on the bike, as I say, or an easy run if I'm feeling better. Weight training is a big priority. I pulled back on the intensity in the gym a little bit before the Great North Run because I really just wanted to nail that, certainly with my lower body training. So I'm just going to make sure to build my strength really back up in the gym. Not that I really lost any strength, just didn't really gain any. And if the intensity goes up in the gym, if I keep everything else the same in terms of my steps, my running, my nutrition, macros, calories, in theory I should get leaner because I should be burning more calories in the gym. So that's how I'm going to kind of take my physique to the next level and give it a more kind of dense and hard look. I've mentioned this a lot on my other videos on Instagram as well, but a common mistake that I see people make with hybrid training is they focus too much on the running and they might still weight train, but they drop the intensity a lot to the point where they actually kind of, their physique just starts to look shit and flat and they start to lose muscle. And I don't want to be in that position because I would say I'm still very physique focused whilst wanting to improve my running performance, because I ran a good time on Sunday in bad conditions and it kind of opened my eyes to kind of like where I could probably get to over the next few years. For my running, I've only been running properly, well, running 3.5 years, running properly probably 2 years. So I think with just more time and more miles in the legs over the next couple of years, I should be able to run like a 125 half marathon, I would say, give or take, well, assuming that I stay around the same body weight. So I'm excited to see where I can go, and that's why I like the running so much, is just because you can't really improve it quickly. It just takes a lot of hard work and consistency, and that's kind of what I'm all about. Nutrition wise, I was following a macro approach with my coach, but I switched back to a meal plan just because I was finding myself just thinking too much about what to eat. Like, I always ate really clean, but there was kind of too much temptation there to allow like too much variation in the meals, and I found that, yeah, I was just thinking too much about it. So I've just got him to write me a new meal plan that I'm sticking to. It's built up of all the foods that I enjoy eating anyway, so it's not as restricting or eating bland foods and things like that. And then we'll incorporate an off-plan meal or two each week if I go out on the weekend or something like that. So that is the setup for the next few months. And realistically, in the past, when I got in my best shape, I was following a meal plan, so just kind of want to get back to that. But yeah, I'm going to go and hit this upper body session. I'll probably video some of it and do a voiceover and explain why I'm doing certain things. Right guys, going to give a little bit of a rundown of my upper body training session. So this is the second upper body training session that I do every week. I'm doing this on Thursdays at the moment. My other upper body session is on Mondays. So this one is a vertical focus session, so we're focusing on shoulders and a vertical pull, which you'll see in a second. But just warming up here, just a really nice one to open up the upper back, the thoracic, and also get a bit of a stretch through the hips. My hips are usually quite tight most of the time just because doing so much running. So main strength movement of the day, standing barbell overhead press, definitely my all-time favorite shoulder builder. I remember when I was younger, I always used to do the back supported dumbbell shoulder press, but as soon as I started incorporating this into my routine, my shoulders blew up. It's just a really good core exercise as well, because it requires a lot of strength to press that amount of weight overhead. So the rep range structure that I'm doing this month it's called back off sets. So 4 working sets, so a set of 10, then a set of 6, then a set of 5, and then a back off set of 12. So as the reps come down, the weight increases. This was I think this was my second set. So I think this was the heavy set of 6. And then I actually moved on to try and hit a set of 5. I ended up getting 4, but I didn't video that one. So that will be my goal going into the gym next week, is to hit that 5th rep. And then the final set was a set of 12 where you drop the weight again. So you get a nice strength and hypertrophy response on the first 3 sets, and then you get a bit of a metabolic stimulus on the back off set. You usually get a good pump, and it's a real burner. Next movement, secondary movement, was just a kind of standard lat pull down. I had the option to switch these for pull-ups or pull downs, and I chose this. I hit heavy pull-ups earlier in the week on a Monday. So what I'm focusing on here on the lat pull down is just mind muscle connection, really just trying to get a great stretch on the lats at the top. You can see that I fully lengthen the lat at the top. You can literally see the lats lengthening there, and then pulling it right down into a shortened position. What I'm thinking about here is trying to get my elbows towards my pockets. And for this movement and the next one, which is dips, we weren't following like a typical rep range structure. My coach has me doing 40 seconds on and then 80 seconds off. So probably hit like 20 reps in that 40 seconds, maybe a little bit less, maybe more like 15. And that was 4 sets of that, as I say, with 80 seconds rest in between. So there's a little bit of a different rep range structure, but really, really good for high intensity training, getting a good pump on. And basically my main goal for this training block is just to accumulate a lot of volume alongside the strength movements that I'm doing. And then we did the same thing here for just standard bodyweight dips. You can see I'm leaning forward a little bit here, just trying to target the chest. Obviously you are going to use a lot of tricep doing dips as well, but if you lean forward a little bit, you get a bit more chest activation. That's something that I'm trying to work on, is my chest over the next few months. Then just finished off with some side delts. I hit delts 2 to 3 times a week. It's an area that I'm constantly trying to work on. I just think it looks good when you've got fucking unnatty 3D delts. I'm definitely getting there, but I think I hit 3 sets of 15 here on like 10 kg dumbbells. So I like to go high reps on these. I think if you go too heavy, you start using your traps too much. So yeah, just 3 sets of 15, about 45 seconds off in between here. got a really good pump on. And that's it, just sticking to the basic kind of bread and butter compound movements. You don't really need to do much else. Like obviously, a lot of my training is running now. I'm running 4 times a week, lifting 4 times a week. And when I'm in the gym, I'm really just focusing on improving my strength and getting strong on these key movements. Then just finished off with a little bit of core. This is actually sped up, that's why it looks a little bit quick. But basically on this movement, it's a side plank crunch. So not only are you taxing your obliques and building core strength, but you're also strengthening your hip stabilizer muscles as well. So it's a really, really good one for the runners. 10K run done, absolutely horrible. I don't regret doing it because I had to do it, but awful. I just ran, as I said, round JVC, which is essentially a building site at the moment, which is shit. Moving out of here in January. Just didn't have time to drive to the beach, but yeah, so hot. It's not as hot as it was when I left a couple of weeks ago, but it's still so humid. Heart rate went, first 5K was about 130 and then went right up into the 160s. So the average heart rate was 145, but obviously that's not what we're aiming for in an easy run. We want to try and keep it under 150 to keep it aerobic the whole time, but literally I couldn't keep it down. I think I was just dehydrated. That's the problem in the morning. I don't want to take on more than like 500 ml of water with electrolytes, otherwise I feel bloated, but it is what it is, got it done. Hopefully the weather will calm down over the next few weeks, and to be fair, I think I should have got up a little bit earlier to do that, but just had my first meal, didn't video it because I was absolutely starving. It was oats, plant-based protein powder, blueberries, dark chocolate, 950 calories, 120 grams of oats, so I'm doing 3,300 calories today, spread across 4 meals, so I'm feeling good, tons of energy, and that's purely because I've got a big deadlift session later on tonight. I'm going to go to the gym at about 5 o'clock and get that one done. In between that, it's 9:30 now, I'm just going to work. I'm going to start my day by doing about 10 check-ins, try and, prioritize clients, prioritize my energy for them, and just get those done first thing. Then I've got a team call with the guys, coaches at 12 o'clock, and then I'll probably sunbathe for half an hour, try and work on this tan because I'm feeling pale as fuck at the moment. And then I've just got bits and bobs to do this afternoon before I go and train, so that is the plan. Yeah. So I would just say, look, well, I'm only free after 8:30 on these days, or whatever it is. Yeah, for sure. But then in the meantime, go to the gym. So I've messaged him that anyway, so. Oh wow, yeah, 17 likes, fuck me.
Yeah, mate, that's what I said for that. How many did you got? That looks at
17. It's difficult because sometimes I don't want to say blunt stuff like that, but then I was like, fuck it.
Exactly.
I think it all comes back to like managing their expectations. Like you know Ryan, my mate, who's doing really well. Like he's been going on loads of holidays, and I just said to him, you cannot expect to more than maintain your progress. If anything, you'll lose a little bit, but as long as you're okay with that and you've made that decision, then that's fine. And we know that when we get back and we turn it on, you're going to drop 2 kilos in 2 weeks. So from someone who's doing like 3 weight sessions and 2 runs, all the way up to someone that's doing 7 a week, and like as you move along that, basically like by the time you get to 7 sessions a week, there's actually no scope to move anything really, unless you're doing a double day. So I think the more we drill that into people, and like obviously it comes back to us showcasing that in our own stories as well, of being like, you know, we're not missing, we're doing this on the right day, we don't want to do it sort of thing. I think it hits home definitely. So just had our team call there. We do 2 a week with all 3 coaches, me, Dylan and Harry, Tuesdays and Fridays, just running over client progress, dealing with any issues that we need to. I'm just cooking up my second meal. I'm not going to show you, it's literally just a fucking egg white omelette and the kitchen's a mess. But yeah, so I'm going to eat this, more check-ins to do, a few more things to sort out, and then I'm going to go and smash deadlifts later on tonight. Probably won't be able to film that just because the gym that I usually like to do deadlifts at, they don't let me take a tripod or a camera in, which is shit, but it's what it is. I'm going to get a few more training clips later on, well not this week but next week, and put them all in the video and explain why I'm doing certain things. Yes guys, so just wanted to end the video and run over my hybrid training split, because I get a lot of questions on this, especially on Instagram, People kind of asking me how I balance the strength training and the running, so I thought I'd just kind of put it down in a presentation here and run over it. So I did actually do the deadlifts, as I mentioned in the previous clip, but the gym didn't let me video, so ending the video this way. So this is the training split that I've followed for the last 3 months in preparation for the Great North Run half marathon, which was last week. And as I explained, I think earlier in the video, I am doing the Dubai half marathon in 5 weeks time. So essentially I'm going back on to half marathon prep, and essentially just doing the last 5 weeks of that program again, just to try and improve my ability a little bit. With the weather calming down in Dubai, I feel like I should be able to improve and run at some better paces. Really dialed my nutrition in, and will be doing so for the next month, dropping a couple of kilos. So should be going into that next race in actually better shape. So I'll be interested to see how I perform. The Dubai course is completely flat, but obviously the temperature will be higher. So I'm not really sure whether I'll do better, to be honest. But so this is the training split that I'm running at the moment. As I say, it worked really well for me. So strength-wise, essentially 4 strength sessions a week: Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So you've got upper body, horizontal focus, so like bench and rows. Tuesday, legs, squat focus with some core. Thursday, upper body, vertical focus, so overhead press, pull-ups, things like that. Obviously accessory work on all these days too. Friday, legs, deadlift focused. And then Saturday is basically active recovery, just some movement work to just essentially loosen me up for my Sunday run. In terms of running, I did mention earlier in the video I might be putting another easy run in there on Thursdays, but I'm really just going to see how my legs feel and take that week by week. But Monday I'm hitting easy run 10 to 12. Once the weather calms down, I will push that to 12, but at the moment it's super uncomfortable and really humid. Wednesday, interval session, so that's faster intervals like 3:30 to 3:45 pace for shorter time splits. Friday's intervals at half marathon pace, and that should say Sunday instead of Saturday. Sunday long run between 14 to 18k, obviously on that half marathon prep. So that's the split I'm running at the moment. It's been working really well. It allows me to progress in both disciplines, strength and running. Obviously with hybrid training, you are going to be a little bit sore all the time in the lower body, but I will say the more you do, the more you get used to it. And if you can stay at a little bit of a lighter body weight, that I have found that helps improve my recovery, and my DOMs in the lower body certainly aren't as bad now at 78, 79 kg than they were when I was up at 84 kg. So yeah, this is probably the training spot I'm going to run for a long time. I'm planning on doing a marathon in the next 2 or 3 months. So I'll probably keep the running on the same days, but obviously with marathon prep, it'll be longer runs and less speed work. So that is the split, and I'll keep you updated if I change anything. But yeah, just going to end the video here.